Hey everybody, it's Good Time Gal. Today is April 10th. It is Cinnamon Crescent Roll Day. Yes. So if you love cinnamon crescent rolls, today is your day. We're going to be doing it extra special on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to be making them from scratch because I'm a Southern lady and no respectable Southern woman uses frozen crescent rolls. I know, it's a whole thing. But if you're not a self respecting Southern woman, you can go ahead and follow the recipe that's on goodtimegal.com. I went ahead and put a recipe there, and it's a little easier, it's equitable, and it's frozen crescent rolls. So I'm going to be using my grandmother's crescent roll recipe. We've used it before when we made our bread on TikTok. I don't know if I have a video on here. We'll have to check. But super easy. This bread recipe is good for donuts, biscuits, crescent rolls, pastries. It's a really great Southern recipe that I've had for years. Everybody loves it, and the dough always comes out perfect. So I'm going to read it to you if you want to follow along with me here. If you don't, and you, like I said, please feel free to follow the recipe that is on my blog. I'm okay with that, okay? So for this, our never fail homemade crescent rolls, we're gonna do 6 cups of all-purpose flour, or you can do 3 cups of white flour, 3 cups of wheat, it's up to you. You're gonna do 2 packages of yeast. If you don't have 2 packages of yeast and you use the jar, 2 1/4 teaspoons plus 2 cups of warm water. And if you hear that, that's my warm water. I'm gearing up to do the yeast. Then you need 1/2 cup of oil or 1 stick of margarine melted. You need 2 teaspoons of salt, and you need 2 cups of warm, not hot water. How I test my warm water is I do the baby test. When you have an infant, usually you sprinkle the milk on your wrist to see if you can feel it or not. If you can feel it, that means it's too hot. If you cannot feel it, it's perfect. So that's how we test it. All right, let's brief history about crescent rolls. Crescent rolls were made in Europe in, I think, mid 20th century, and they took off, and everybody loves them. They just got to America. Cinnamon is also one of the most used spices. Salt and cinnamon, even back in the day, people loved cinnamon, they loved cumin, and they loved salt. So that is why we're doing this. This is going to give us a cozy, comforting feel. Yes. And that's what Good Time Gal is about. It's about making yourself feel cozy. It's about making other people feel cozy. It's just about having a good time, right? So that's what we're going to do. So I have my 6 cups of flour ready. I have a large bowl. So now I'm going to put 2 cups of warm water in here. So now I'm going to add my yeast, my salt, and my butter. Here's my yeast, my salt, sugar, my melted butter. I'm going to stir. It already smells like bread. It already smells like bread. Oh, I love fresh bread. I I have squirrels in the backyard and I make them bread too. So it's like a whole thing. All right, so now I'm gonna let this sit for exactly 1 minute. So I'm gonna set a timer. All right, so now our job is to add the flour to this mixture. We're gonna do it at 3 cups at a time. This is a half a cup that I'm using. So I'm gonna do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we add more. So that's when we stop. We stop when the dough becomes dough. And that was easy, right? It's pretty fast. It's not isn't a hard recipe, and it is a no fail. So if you use this recipe, your bread will probably come out great as well. And it's also equitable too, but I know a lot of us, sometimes we don't have the time to do from scratch, right? So that's why on my blog, I went ahead and put an equitable, easy one where it's just frozen crescent rolls and you just add some raisins and some pecans to it and you can move on with your day. Me, I actually enjoy the process. This is probably one of my favorite cooking processes is making bread. Bread, pastries, and then the smell of the house. Oh, it's so good. And then watching my kids act like raccoons and just a hand on the plate. It's a wonderful feeling. Let's set our timer for 10 minutes because guess what? This dough, it has to be kneaded for 10 minutes. And then after we do that, we're going to put it in a greased bowl and we are going to let it sit and rise. And then we will come back and we will we're gonna take it out of the bowl. We're gonna knead it until my timer goes off. Of course, I set a timer. I am all about time and precision because time is valuable, right? You're doing good. Keep going. Press those forearms. This is making bread. Just kneading it. There it is, 10 minutes. This is the original bowl that it came in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this oil that we used and I'm going to put it in the bowl. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to cover it so that the dough doesn't stick to the bowl. It's going to double twice in size. So that takes about 15 to 30 minutes. And then we will come back. Put your baby in the basket. I like to keep mine in a warm place, right? Because we want it to rise. Don't put it in the freezer because it's not gonna rise. So usually what I do is I will turn my gas stove on and it'll be warm. And then I'll just set it for 30 minutes. And when I say warm, it just says warmer. Like I have a warmer on mine. If you don't have one, then try to set your oven as low as possible and then sit it on top, but not long. And you may wanna put like a pan underneath it so that it doesn't cook. It's just a little weird chef's trick that I have. But that's what we're gonna do. So he's already rising. So I'm gonna cover him so he can have that privacy and he can rise in peace. And then we'll come back and we'll make our crescent rolls. Look what doubled in size. Yes, perfect. So now that I've got this doubled in size, we are going to roll it out and we're gonna make our crescents. So let's see if it'll, yep. So for my crescent roll mixture, I've got some raisins that I soaked in vanilla with some brown sugar and some white sugar. And then I have my butter mixture, which is cinnamon. I did a half a tablespoon of cinnamon. I like cinnamon. And then this is half a stick of butter with some white sugar as well. I'm going to use this for the interior of my crescent rolls as well as the exterior of my crescent rolls. This is gonna make quite a bit crescent rolls, so I'm gonna chop it in half. And then I'm gonna set this aside. And if you want to, you can freeze it and save it for later, because that's the beauty of making your own crescent roll dough, especially this. And if you don't want to use it for crescent rolls, if you want to make donuts instead, if you want to, you can, because it's an all-purpose bread dough. You can thank my grandmother Irma Jean, and you can thank my mother Chloe Lee, because these ladies, yeah, this is their vibe, this is their jam. All right, so let's do it. It looks beautiful. I like a good dough. So we just keep going. Yeah, this is gonna make quite a bit, but you know what? Ain't no party like a cinnamon crescent roll party, because a cinnamon crescent roll party don't stop. Okay. All right, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna keep pushing this back because this is, yeah. My favorite friend to come to town. I'm also going to be using this butter to top, so you just start acting like it's a canvas and you paint. Start painting. Yep. Doesn't matter how messy it is. Remember, in the kitchen you can be messy. And we always say kitchen, we always say love and food should be done with abandon. So just do it. Have fun, bake the cake. Now this is kind of like the same context as a cinnamon roll, right? Like you put this down and then you just roll them. So that's what we're doing. Crescent roll is that we do it in the shape of a crescent. And we would use quite a lot more cinnamon for the cinnamon roll. All right, I like it. So we're just making triangles. See that? See what I'm doing? Just making triangles. That was a big one, so I'm gonna, and then we just, yep. So some of them are gonna have these wonderful raisins and some of them won't. And we'll be okay. And they don't need a lot, right? Like you don't need to put a lot of raisins in there. You can put as many as you like, but you just wanna make sure that we're able to get, you know me, build on the flavor. So actually I want them, yeah, I want them at the bottom. Yeah, like that. Yeah, right at the bottom. I'm gonna do a little weirdness because I'm weird. I want to make sure I get cinnamon on the bottom, so I'm gonna put a little cinnamon on my non-stick pan. A little. See that? Not a lot, because it'll burn and you don't want it to burn. All right, so we start from the bottom. Remember what it's called a crescent roll for, because we're just rolling. See that? Ah, we made it. I want mine a little tighter. The question that is on everybody's mind is, how did you learn how to cook? You've known how to cook this whole time. Why didn't you say anything? And the truth of the matter is, once people find out I can cook, doesn't matter where we go or what we do or what dish we eat, someone's gonna say, I bet you can make it better. So I generally do not tell people, oh, this is gonna be a baby one. I generally don't tell people I can cook because they will make me cook. But if you are a close family friend, you know that as a Southern belle, I was raised to be a Southern belle, so cooking is always going to be in my repertoire. I have to know how to feed my man, my children, and also it's a sense of pride for my family, like to be able to do my mother's recipes. We take pride in that. We take pride in being able to take care of ourselves. So that is why. And let's be honest, my past profession, did we really need to know that I knew how to cook? No. Some people just get nosy. They get nosy and they get entitled to your life, and they think, oh, well, I gotta know everything. And the truth is, we're in an age where you shouldn't know everything about people, right? You shouldn't, because you don't need to. We should just trust people how they are, right? Oh, this one's gonna get a little weird. So I'm gonna have to, half it and make a little crescent. But yes, I have known how to cook since I was 13. In our family, when you turn 16, you have to actually make dinner. You have to make a 3-course meal for everybody. Everybody comes over, they taste your stuff, and they tell you what you need to work on. And then the holidays, you usually start as like a mincer and a chopper, and then you can move your way up. And I have always been the best mincer and the best chopper. And my mom also likes me to do the cornbread dressing because I always make it the finest. And I take pride in that. But yes, I have always known how to cook. I just didn't think in my past career it was something that y'all needed to know. And all right, we did it. This is it. So now what I'm gonna do, remember I said got a little excess butter. So now, you can just put that cinnamon on top. Yep. And it'll give it a cinnamony glaze as well. But these are not gonna take long. We're gonna put these in the oven 375 for 10 minutes. I'm gonna do 10 because remember I told you I have a gas stove. This is a pastry and we may go a little over, and I don't wanna go over. I wanna make sure that these come out perfect because everybody's gonna wanna eat these. They are. All right, so I'm gonna put them in the oven and I'll see you when they're ready. They came out perfect. You did that. It was you. Look at you. Cinnamon crescent rolls. Let's put some on a plate. Let's put some on a plate. Actually, I'm just gonna do one. And look how beautiful that is. Just so you see, ooh, yes. And then the little cinnamon detail. You're amazing. If you followed me and did this exactly like I did it, you're amazing. And if you followed my recipe on my Good Time Gal blog, you're amazing too, girl and guy. But you guys are amazing. Oh, these are gonna get eaten quickly. They will be eaten quickly. So, you know how I am about plating. So for me, when I want mine, I'm gonna drizzle a little chocolate, just a little bit. Just It's gonna be delicious. I cannot wait. I would eat it now, but you don't need to see me get greasy. So from my kitchen to yours, happy National Cinnamon Crescent Roll Day. That's all the time we have today. Happy National Cinnamon Crescent Roll Day. This has been so much fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it. This is also the beginning of our Easter segment on YouTube, so please keep coming back every other day for some really great recipes for our Easter dinners. I want to make sure that we are all having a wonderful meal for an equitable price. If you have enjoyed this, please click on the like, share, or subscribe button. And if you have done that, please check out my channel description for more cooking aids. And please feel free to purchase my Good Time for the Holidays because holidays are upon us. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and you have a blessed day.